Hello there, it's Fiona from Weekly Sewing Bee. Now today I'm going to make little chrysanthemums just to decorate on a cushion. So I'm going to talk you through how we got to this stage. Now for this make you are going to need strips of fabric that you want to make the flowers out of. You're going to need a sewing machine that can sew a zigzag stitch, although there are other ways of doing the gather. And now I'm using embroidery thread just to gather this all up. This is mainly so you can see it. So you will need some sort of thick string just to pull those gathers in. Now, so we have our strip. Now this is double width, so I will be making either 2 halves of a long strip, because you can just continue it round, or I could make 2. So first of all, I'm going to fold it in half, and just for convenience sake for myself, I'm then going to cut the petals, but I'm going to cut the petals again. So if you can fold it in half again. So I've got 1, 2, this is for the petals, but I'm cheating slightly and I'm folding it in half again. Now depending on the sharpness of your scissors, you could even fold it again, but I think that's pushing it. Now what I need is pointy petals. I'm doing a chrysanthemum and they do have that traditional sort of spiky thing. So it is a matter of, I'm trying to cut the top as well, but all I'm doing is I'm cutting out diamonds, triangles, and I will continue this all the way along. And then I'm cutting out another one, and each time I make this cut, I'm making sure that I cut the top just so that it's easier later, because otherwise I have to separate it out and I have to cut. And also I'm making sure that I'm keeping it flat to the table so that these don't all curl round and then I chop off these lovely petals that I've cut. Okay, so I can come back to that, but basically what we're left with, and even though I was really careful, you can see that I do need to trim. Now I think it's fine to do it unhemmed, but you do need quite a close weaved cloth, because otherwise it just frays. So, and it'll just look untidy. So we'll just tidy that bit up, and there we have all our spikes. Now to do the gathers, there's loads of ways. The way I'm choosing is the zigzag stitch with the string going right down the middle. I find this one the easiest. Or you could put your sewing machine on a long stitch, the longest stitch that you have, and then pull it through. It kind of works, sometimes the thread breaks. So, but we're going for the easiest one. So we have our string, but it is blue string, so you can see it. And I'm going to place that over the top. I'm going to leave quite a large tag so I can make it nice and easily. I'm going to put the foot down and I'm going to set my sewing machine up to the largest zigzag. And all I'm going to do is very slowly zigzag over the string, making sure that I don't catch the string in any of the stitches. Now I don't mind if it does pucker a bit at the back. All I'm worried about is literally that this needle doesn't land on the string, because if that happens then you can't pull it through. So I have the string under quite a lot of tension and I'm steadying it with my hand, but it's only like a guiding thing. So when it comes to the end, I can do a reverse stitch if I like, but there's no point. The stitches that I've done, it doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to take the end of my blue embroidery thread here and I'm going to pull all the thread through, but I'm going to make sure I've got quite a firm hold on this just to keep it there. And in fact what I'm doing is I'm pulling the end that I started sewing with so that I can continue to keep it on the reel. It just sort of saves, well, it's not only it saves embroidery thread or stroke string, but it saves a mess, because if you were doing a few of these you'll end up with triangles everywhere, and you'll end up with little bits of string everywhere. So I'm just doing it to save mess, really. Okay, so I've got my ends and I've got myself gathered. I am just doing final tucks to make sure all these petals, these feathery petals, are around the right way. Now there's no right and wrong way for this, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little slip knot. So I'm taking one thread under and over the other, and I'm going to pull it tight, and with my ends I can just wrap that round again and do another slip knot. And this just keeps everything just in place and everything tidy. So I can tie those off again, and again just unpluck all the feathers just to make sure they're going the right way. And if you do see something that's joined, or if we can just focus on this one here, it's very wide, isn't it? And it's not what we want at all. So all I'm going to do is just trim it from here until I'm happy with the overall effect. Okay, well, that's how we make a rough and ready chrysanthemum. Alright, thank you ever so much for watching.